I don't cook. They brag on it.
I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this ring.
Many of our young girls can't boil water, can't boil an egg, can't do anything. And they think that's cute because we don't have mothers in the community anymore as much teaching how to cook. We buy everything out. We don't know what we eat. Snails, raccoons, squirrels. We don't know how to identify meat. And so our families have been so torn apart, and we have been made to hate each other. And the other reasons is that every problem that the white woman has had with the white man, they have pushed those issues on us, or we have adopted those issues and decided that that was our problem too. When I keep saying we don't have nothing to do with the white woman and what she got going with her man. We trying to deal with our own. And as a result of our frustration and our anger, many of our men have left us to go to women of other nationalities because they feel like they can get along with them better. It's not because they're better women, but they haven't suffered the same kind of traumas that we have from childhood growing up, what we saw, what we did, and all of the things we had to go through. And so their mood is better. They ain't mad all the time like us. You know, we be uptight. We have unrealistic expectations, you know, and the unrealistic expectations has been our downfall. We have made up ideas about what a relationship and a husband or a man is supposed to be like. You know, we don't mind having a man as long as he don't act like a man. You know, we can be with him, but if we start coming up in that trying to give some instructions or say how he wants things or what we supposed to do, oh, we go get everybody then. Oh, no, you trying to tell me what to do. Somebody need to tell us what to do. It's obvious we don't know what to do. You know, everywhere I go, people say that final thing. You know, we just need to come together. You know, we just need to get in unity. Well, most of us can't get in unity with the people we live with the people we've been with all our life. We can't get in unity with them. So that can't be the total goal. We're going to have forced unity. See, not getting along is a luxury. Being able to disagree, break up, make up, and all of that, that's a luxury. But there will come a time based on things that we all need to survive, and where we're going to need a man, where we're going to get past a whole lot of what we got going now. It's just going to fade away. Like Trump said, it's going to poof, it'll disappear, you know? It's not going to be there. But for right now, the man's role would be to protect and provide. Now, when we say provide, that don't mean buy you every kind of weave you want that costs $800 or $900. It don't mean buy you every kind of Gucci and Fendi and Louis Vuitton. That ain't what provide means. He's going to provide direction and guidance, love, affection, discipline for our children, and help with all of those kind of things. Provide ideas. See, one of our problems as black women is that we ain't got nothing to do. You know, other than work for white people, we don't have too much to do. You know, I go to the church, and many of us treat the people at the church and the minister like we should be treating our man at home. So, you know, we have it all mixed up. So those are some of the things that the man needs to do. He needs to not let women let us get away with things, because the moment we get away with sneaking a line, we really open it up and do that a lot more because we think we've got him tricked. And that's one of the reasons that so many black women were angry with me for putting out the Black Man's Guide to Understand the Black Woman, because our men needed a heads up. And even with that, it's hard for them. But they just have certain information they don't have about us that keeps them confused and makes them reject us and go to someplace else. He's outside looking for peace of mind. Yeah, because we're not that familiar with peace. We're just familiar with getting dressed up and putting on eyelashes and, you know, maybe even going to school. More of us are graduating from college. More of us are getting PhDs. You know, we got good credit cards. We got a whole lot of things, cars, but it hasn't made us happy. We're still sitting around talking about why we don't have companionship, which is the ultimate goal. It don't have to be marriage. It can just be some good companionship, you know, because we're alone. Yeah. So with our women, one of the first things we need to deal with is nutrition. Women historically have been assigned that duty and have accepted that role because food, as I say, is what sustains life. And eating the proper food, we can decide how long our men and our women live, and our children. But it's what we feed them. And so eating out every day, while it's convenient, because we're giving our all of our energy to the white people on the job, So when we come home, we tired. So it's easy to pick up McDonald's or some other kind of junk and bring it home and feed it to our children until our children get so accustomed to eating it that they don't even want good food. They don't want vegetables. That's what we have been unjust to ourselves. And so we can set a better example. And just cooking. I talk about cooking all the time. I don't know how so many of us have missed that. Cooking food and invite somebody over for dinner. You have somebody at least for some company sometimes, because most of our men are lined up every evening somewhere to buy some kind of filthy, greasy food because they don't have nothing to eat. I talked to a young brother the other day. He told me he don't even know no women that cook. Starting with his mother. Yeah, you ain't surprised at that. In fact, many of our women don't cook, and they go around saying they think it's something to be proud of. I don't cook. They brag on it. Many of our young girls can't boil water, can't boil an egg, can't do anything, and they think that's cute because we don't have mothers in the community anymore as much teaching how to cook. We buy everything out. We don't know what we eat. Snails, raccoons, squirrels. We don't know how to identify meat. And so we, as women, our role needs to be satisfied with less. Stop trying to keep up with everybody else who don't own nothing but try to buy everything that the enemy and the Asians make. We need to pull back some from that. You know, we think that our men only like us for how we dress, or our eyelashes, or our fake breasts, or buttocks, and all of that. That's not what they're looking for in us. And so we keep them so sexually stimulated, overstimulated, that they don't have time to consider anything else about us, because we think that's the only way to get a man, and that's the only value that we have. We have other great values. We are the queen of the universe, the mother of civilization. And so we have other things to teach us. But our women need to lower their dress, stop going out naked, trying to get attention from strange men. Our women need to control their sexual drive, because we'll do anything, go crazy when we have that on us, you know. And what a lonely woman won't do. It's just anything. So we need to pull that back some and come down from so much throwing sex on our men, so that they can have time to consider something else. They don't have a kind of discipline that'll keep them from going for that. So we need to be in the mother, the first one that touch all of the people on the earth. That's what a mother does. We need to set a different example. We need to start dressing our children more modest. You can't wait till your daughter gets 14 to tell her to stop wearing halter tops and booty shorts. You can't do that. You got to start her when she's a tiny little child about being modest, you know, and how to dress. And so people say all the time to me, yeah, you talking all that old school. No, I'm talking about what works. Because what y'all got going is not working. Our women are overweight. We big and fat and try to convince somebody that looks good. Our men are overweight. Now you're talking about high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, heart disease. And so the stress of racism in this country already puts that on us. We're 17, 18 generations up from slavery. And as I said, that's why I wrote that book, Are You Still a Slave? To help us to understand that we're still practicing the same behavior. And we're not always forced to, but as long as we practice the same behaviors that we do and go for the things we go for, then the enemy understands that they still have control over us. And we have lived in a society where our man has been disenfranchised. We have run them crazy at home, and they've been around so many women, they grow up and talk like women and act like women. You know, when we dragging our son to the beauty parlor to get our hair braided, he got to sit in there and listen to women for 3 and 4 hours. Okay? When we take him over to our girlfriend's house and he got to listen to that. Well, see, a lot of that impacts upon his development. And there are some fathers who are unfit to be around their children, or the woman, or anybody else. But then there are a lot of other great fathers who are qualified to help nurture their child and co-parent, but we don't deal with them because we're mad at them. The child ain't mad. Well, we used to identify with being black first and having a black man. But because of the women's liberation movement, now we try to identify as being female, and we got all of this here, you know, black girls do this and black women do that, you know, and we have not come up with a program as black women that honors our men as much as we honor ourselves, okay? It would not be us if it were not for him, okay? Well, everything is just a decision. And when a lot of us hear the truth, we don't want to take that truth because it requires us to change and rearrange the fake values that we have been forced to accept. We think to live out here. And many of us think that if we do that, that we will become ostracized. In order to rebuild our nation, you have got to be brave. You have got to step out on the truth. And we don't keep needing a God that we can love. We need a God that loves us. That's different. It's a lot of basic things we have not done that any people who are trying to survive would ordinarily do. And then we want to come out here and think we should get the top man and that he should go along with any nonsense we practice just to have sex with us. Some people have, and their life is better. Some women have and some men have. Now, I know that our brothers are broken. Many of them have had such a hard time. You know, we don't even know what it's like to be a black man in America. They're hunted down like wild animals. And they are killed unjustly. It doesn't matter. You know, rather, it used to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, any place is the wrong time for our men. And because of the women's lib movement and the big mouth many of us have developed out here trying to talk and yell and jump up in men's faces, now the enemy treating our women like they treat our men. They throw them down, shoot them, anything. You know, so we need to see these patterns and recognize that all that jumping up and down in church every Sunday morning ain't getting us nowhere. We ain't getting no benefit from that. It's just a play to go and let off steam, let off stress, but it's not building what we need to build. Every black church in America should be donating money to educate 5 or 10 children in their communities. Absolutely. They have the money. Stop giving to the preacher. He's a master pimp. Women look for a pimp. They want a man that tell them what to do. They just don't want no accountability with him. And so he's out there collecting the money up, living a high life when the people in the community are in need. Well, it's very important right now because our birth numbers are down. And I don't know if black people realize that. You know, they have offered us the abortion as a form of birth control. And so a lot of our younger women, they just get 3 or 4 abortions a year and use it for birth control because they're offered to us free. They're in our communities and a lot of things. And sometimes we don't even tell the men that we are pregnant. Or sometimes we'll go around to 3 or 4 men and tell them we're pregnant and need an abortion and collect $500 or $600 from each one of them. So we've done a lot of things about that. The structure of family has been so destroyed for us. It is really very sad. See, for many years, in fact, even right after slavery and during slavery, after slavery especially, we had more black families, more black men marrying black women, women with the men, than we have now. Because we have changed our opinion of each other, and so many things have happened to tear down our moral compass. And so one of the other things that has happened is that the enemy couldn't come up with anything that would break up our families in a certain way. Okay? But when they came up with crack separated the mother from the cub. We had never had anything that separated the mother from her baby. Crack did that. And so when that broke up, then, you know, now we're dealing with the grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren of the crack addicts. And they're traumatized. There are studies that say that when people are traumatized, it takes 17 generations to come up out of that trauma. That might be us. It may take us as long as we were in slavery. It may take us that long to come up out of it. We haven't been free. It's been under 100 years. We don't have a big history to talk about having no freedom just because we got some football stars and basketball and Oprah and a few of those people. That doesn't mean that we're free because a few of us have figured out how to make some money. Yeah.